What's going on, Facebook fam? It's your girl, neo soul recording artist Lahla-Hadiya, back again for another segment of Morning Tea with Mommy. I have to apologize because I had some well, it wasn't even technical difficulty. My mom's Facebook page got hacked yesterday, and then we helped her change everything. My husband's page got hacked yesterday. We helped him change it, so I said I better change mine, and forgot to go on my computer and update everything. So I couldn't get on this morning and did not know why until I figured it out. But nonetheless, we're here. So we're a little later than 7:30. So hopefully that means everybody had enough time to get their coffee, their tea, their water. Drink a bottle water today. Well, it has my vitamin T in it. So I'm still doing tea. But hopefully everybody is okay. I want to see how you guys are doing. Give me a thumbs up, happy face if you guys are ready to get into this Thursday. It's still beautiful, though it's windy and rainy, because after all the rain, God does bring the sunshine, and it's supposed to be nice on Saturday. So let's get into today's topic. Yesterday was pretty fun. Yesterday was fun. I had a good laugh after the segment about how ridiculous I must have sounded about my no parking spot. I still want my parking spot next to the house, but anyway, yeah, yesterday was a fun topic. Today is a very reflective topic. So today's topic is, what is something that you discovered about yourself in the past few weeks, and would you continue with it, or is it something that you need to quit? With all the hustle and bustle of life, we tend to forget, some of the things that make up who we are or whatever, because we're always moving, and, people see it, but we don't always see it. And being in this space in this time with this pandemic is giving us more opportunity to kind of see ourselves for who we are. So, what have you discovered or rediscovered about yourself? Do you like it? Is it something that you can continue with, or is it something you need to quit? I'm going to bring on my mom, dial her up. Hey, what's going on, Mom? Hey, give me some of that
Good
coffee.
morning. You caught me taking a sip of coffee. How is everybody? It's a beautiful day in my neighborhood, and I'm hoping that the same is true for you.
That's because you're
Ready
surrounded
to
by
get
trees.
started?
Yeah.
Yes, we're a little bit late, but that's okay. Better late than never.
Yes, man, I had some issues. I forgot when y'all got hacked yesterday. I went and changed mine, and then I couldn't get in this morning in my laptop, so I had to go ahead and and then I put on the added security with the authentication, so I had to get codes from this place and put it into this. Yeah, it was a lot. So,
Oh, wow.
nonetheless, we're here.
Glad we're here. We're here back again with our beautiful friends. So nice
They
to
not
see
talking
each
this
of you.
morning. I think they grumpy because it's raining. Because ain't nobody saying good morning to me yet. They just
I
staring at
should
me.
I should have played my smile record, Everybody smile. Everybody take a second to smile.
Have you heard the remix with
I, I'm not sure. I've
the one
heard
he
so many
did,
in
the
the
remix
past.
with McReynolds,
Oh
Fantasia.
yes, yes, yes,
Oh my
yes, yes. I
gosh, it's
did hear it.
amazing. I love it. I
It's
love it.
awesome. It's
I think he needs
amazing.
to go ahead and put that out.
I love it. I used to play that song every morning for my kids as they were coming in. And it soon took hold for the rest of the hallway.
Right.
Everybody was like listening out for the smile song.
Another one of my songs is Winning. Who sings that song? I can't remember.
Yes, yes. That's not Jonathan.
Is it?
Because we saw whoever it was, we heard it
Yeah,
when
we
it first
heard them
came
when
out.
we went to the what's his name?
Kenneth,
Charles Jenkins. Charles
yes.
Jenkins. Yeah, playing for the kids every morning on the way. Like when I would drop them off to school, we'd be all jamming to that, so they could
Mm,
walk in the building. Amazing. But anyway, let's get into this topic because they not talking. They just looking. I see like six eyes looking at me. But
Benita, where our
they still
Camilla,
waking up. They still waking up.
Wake up, wake up, wake up.
But the question is, I guess I'll just go ahead and talk candidly with my mama. Um,
Yeah,
it was a good topic that you chose because I've been able to see myself because I have to live with myself and not drown it out by the hustle and bustle of life. You know, it's still a lot going on, like with working from home and getting the kids' schedules together on a daily basis for their homeschool. But I've still been able to like sit with myself, like see myself in action. And so that's a pretty interesting topic, like what I have
yes,
discovered
it
about me.
is. And I believe that that's what this is about, us discovering ourselves, rediscovering ourselves, identifying with ourselves,
Mhm.
uh, the me in me. And at the same time, reaching out to others. The
Right.
thing that I've discovered about myself is how much I am really generated by people, particularly my family. And it's like I look forward to it, whether it's once a week, whether it's the FaceTimes that you and I that we do. My grandkids, I don't think there's a time that you've popped by that after you leave, I have to rush to my room and shed some happiness tears, you know. Um, I've discovered that almost like, what was that? Was that the Wizard of Oz where Dorothy said, "There's no place like home"? And I really enjoy the idea of being with family, home, you know, just
Right.
being home.
So I'm tripping because I can see the hearts on my computer, but I can't see the comments. So they were here. They are alive. Um,
Hey, you guys, I knew I felt your
they
spirit.
were alive. Anita, what's going on? Oh, she was playing the YouTube music in the background. She thought I still had music playing. Why you ain't share your music with us? You know, so we can jam a little bit. We was just talking
Yeah,
about songs.
we got to start putting our music on.
My dog
But
is
we were
acting
talking about
crazy
the
because my husband
smile
just got up.
song. That smile song, I think that's the thing that I've discovered, well, I guess rediscovered how much I was saying earlier, how much I really appreciate people, my circle, people around me. And, also what's really, it really hits a soft spot for me. There have been people posting pictures of, say, their husband or their mother or their children. I haven't seen any with posting pets yet, not directly. But the idea is, to generate love, that's a symbol of the love that people have for their loved ones, for their family. And I think I use the word rediscovered because talking about family, being with family has always been a very important part of my upbringing. So I guess I would say, well, I know I would say that rediscovering the love that is generated with your family, when you see them, when my daughter pops in, Miss Lahla-Hadiya, recording artist, world renowned, it's just something just leaps within me. My grandbaby, my little one, little old lady, Laura, Lavinia, it really just puts me in that happy place. It puts me in that happy place. So and would I continue? What, will I continue? Of course I will. Of course I will. And this, just realizing too, people, family, that this pandemic, this whole virus era is going to pass. And when it does pass, we want to keep that same love, and the same idea of reaching out that we have now. You know, make it a urgency to love somebody, to love somebody. So
I
that's what
think
I would. I plan to definitely continue with reaching out to family, friends, people. Yeah,
I think what I have discovered about myself is that um, I am in my way when it's time to go to sleep because I every time it's time to go to sleep, I don't realize I'm always moving around doing this and doing that. But now that I've been home, it's like when I go to bed, like I literally am laying in bed, like I have to turn on the TV, I have to like scroll through my phone, knowing I'm tired, just to get myself to go to sleep. You know, it's like I have insomnia. I really do. Sometimes, and I don't know if it's so. This is the thing. I don't know if it's something that has developed because of everything that's going on, and I just have a lot on my mind. Um, but it's hard for me to just get in the bed and go to sleep. Like I can't, and I'm tired though. I'm tired. I'm actually drained from the day, and I'm tired. But it's just hard for me to go to sleep. Do I like it? No. I want to go to sleep. And then so of course it's something that I want to change. I want to be able, and I don't know whether it's a matter of me kind of like
jammed.
cooling down at a certain time, winding down, so that I could go to sleep at a decent hour, not 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Especially when I'm waking back up at like 6:30. So yeah, that's one thing I've discovered. Um, Not really a big deal for anybody else, but but for me, I think I would have a little more energy. That may not be a good thing because sometimes I'll be all the way live in the morning. But I think I would have a little more energy internally where I'm, don't feel drained on the inside throughout the day. Um, Another thing that I think I've discovered is that I see, and that's how Satan gets you, right? Like, so Toriano said, open the word and I bet you'll go to sleep. He does that all the time when you're ready to read the Bible, like you get tired, which is why I developed a strategy. I don't do it at night. Don't do it at night anymore. Um, I should start meditating more on the word. But I don't attempt to read the word at night anymore before going to sleep, especially laying down. Um, because I'm hip to the game. I'm hip to the game. I don't do that anymore because I actually want to um, see what the word says and not let that be what puts me to sleep. So yeah, I don't do that. Not doing that.
You,
Um,
you know, I have a regular routine. Um,
hey, Moni
before
Love,
after
how was
I've
your
jumped
birthday,
in
girl?
bed, after I've jumped in bed and I've said my prayers and said my prayers and jumped in bed, I usually ask Alexa to play me some praise and worship music, and I'll set it so that um, for about an hour. And so by the time it goes off, I'm well into La La Land. No
See,
pun
I
intended.
can't even do that because our 8-year old is autistic, right? And so one of the ways that we get her started in the morning is playing music because she's all music. Like everything has to involve music. Um, and she loves gospel music. So we have a gospel playlist that we play for her every morning so that she can get her day started. It helps her brush her teeth, get herself cleaned up and her face and everything cleaned up to get dressed. And then she knows when the music goes off, it means business. It's either when school was actually in the building, she's walking out the door, getting ready to get on the bus. But now that we are home, it's like she's walking to the table, getting ready to sit in front of her laptop and get her day started, or get ready for breakfast or what have you. So if I play gospel music, it will most definitely wake her up. And she has ears like a dog. So like she will hear
Oh,
I
my
could
baby,
be
it don't.
all the way. I said like her ears, not her. That's my Pooh Bear.
Don't associate my baby. You know how I
My Pooh
feel. Like,
Bear.
look,
But like
I'm
yo,
I will roll up my sleeves for my babies.
let me
Yes,
tell you, she left one of her
I know
toys.
what
I
you
think it was
mean.
a setup. She left one of her toys in our bedroom one day, and I'm trying to creep to the bed with the light off, and I stepped on it. Man, 2 minutes later, she was at our door trying to get in, like break in our room. So like she hears everything. So
Everything
I
she
can't
does.
even play, and then I can't put it in my ears because um, the cop and me just don't. I won't let that happen. Like I have to hear around me. I have to hear what's going on. Like every little thing. Maybe that's why she hears everything because I hear every little nuance in the house, like everything that goes on at night. I'm listening for. So um, yeah, I can't do that. Like, and when I was in college, I used to go to sleep to classical music because I would have just studied something or read a book or something like that, and I wanted the wheels to start turning in my head. Um, so I would go to sleep to like classical music to kind of embed that stuff in. Um, you still recovering, Queen? What you doing your birthday, girl? So
Who's
Rihanna said
that?
you can't do that because Ty Tripp would be too lit. No, first of all, I want to know who can go to sleep or rest or relax to any Ty Tribbett song. That is not. Look, my oldest daughter is up waving her hand. I can't like that. First of all, his music isn't meant for you to relax. Ty Tribbett be all the way live. He wants you to get up and stomp out Satan for Jesus. You know what I'm saying? So like, you definitely can't do that.
But
Vanita
one
said,
thing you mentioned that I think I'm hoping will continue. I know I'm a health nut in terms of what I eat.
mm-hmm.
Um,
Oh, we got
so
one of those on here.
what
Moni
what
Love.
I'm noticing is that a lot of people are getting into healthy eating styles,
Yeah.
and like anything that you hope to continue with, it has to become a lifestyle and not just a habit or a chance by chance thing. Um, so, what I'm hoping for, praying for, is to continue press for us to press forward as far as our healthy eating styles. Um, Getting more vitamin D, of course. That's something I have to. Yes.
See,
Oh,
Moni
yeah.
Love got my tea, girl.
So, that's another thing that definitely will be continued is, with the healthy eating and eating the right things. Um, so, and also the idea of, and I know people have been doing this for a while now, and that is passing it on. Say if you're in a fast food line and you not only pay for what you're getting, but the person behind you, it's not going to hurt you if you're able to do that, as well as at a gas pump. I'm reminded of years ago, many years ago, I was at a gas pump and I had was about to pump my gas, and the guy came up to me. He said, just back. There's already, enough money on it, or he already told the attendant, to pay a certain amount.
Mm-hmm.
And first, I'm thinking, is this a
It's a
scam or is
setup.
something?
There are some
but
nice people still in the
but it
world.
was real. It was real. And I was impacted by that gesture that, there are some good people in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And I always say, let us be a committee of one to pass on that generosity, the love, the respect, just treating people as we want to be treated.
Right.
Yeah.
Vanita says, "What's up, Queen? What's going on, Vanita Towns?" She said, "I've discovered my worth to others when I've been told I've been a blessing to them in one way or another. And I
And to you.
believe it's because of my closer relationship with Jesus and the fact that I'm studying the word more and have more in my cup to pour. I guess it must show I guess my light is shining. I definitely want to continue that. Vanita, I feel you on that one. I feel you on that one. I'm beginning to see a lot of the things that I do that make me tired. That hustle and bustle of life, it's for other people, and it's not a bad thing. Like this whole thing is what you've discovered, and whether you feel like it's something you want to continue or quit. And um, I'm noticing like, dang, like I don't really include me time, which I don't want to stop doing for other people, but I do know that I need to somehow incorporate and fit in time for myself. Like I went out to drop some things off to my mom yesterday, and I was like, "Babe, I'll be right back," because I know like it's a struggle, like trying to work from home and dealing with the routine of the children and their schedules, making sure they're on point and everything. He was like, "No, no, I gotta take your time. Just take your time coming back." And I was like, "What y'all about to party without me?" But like he's realizing now that we're both home, um, a lot of the things that I do, and so it's a lot. Like to be a businesswoman and uh, a businesswoman at home too, and then to handle all of the children and know everybody's schedules off the top of my head, and then remembering numbers, which is what I do, accounting, and for them to ask me a question, I got it sitting in my brain already. It's a lot, and so I'm grateful that he's beginning to see all of the things that I deal with and that I handle it. So he's like, no, no, take your time. You can drive slow, just so I can. He's almost like forcing me to have that moment to myself, just to just breathe.
Realizing that.
Yeah, because I don't like. I'll keep going even though I'm tired, even though I may be in pain. Um, because after we had our sixth child, like the young lady, short story, the young lady broke apart the nerve bundle in my hand, trying to put the IV in, even though my veins protrude. She somehow, I don't know, she couldn't find a get to it or whatever. And so she broke apart the nerve bundle. So I've like had, situations going where like I've dropped stuff or I break it. Like I'll be holding a glass and my hand just closes. Yeah. Um, so um, sometimes I'm in pain, like when I'm doing a girl's hair and stuff, and I still fight through it because it's something I have to do. I'm mommy, and I didn't realize, but I did, I guess, that I was just doing a lot, and I didn't stop to just breathe because I'm like, it's something to do. I got to do this. This has to be done. I can't leave that undone because if I don't do this, they're not gonna do. And what he forced me to realize was, yo, they gonna have to function without you. They're gonna have to. Because if you tell me to take my time and I'm not there and it's time for lunch, somebody got to fix their lunch. They're not going to starve until I come back. Maybe they will, but they haven't. Every time I've come back, they've been well fed. The babies have been bathed. Um, but they can function without you, like you've poured enough into the family where they've developed a routine as well, because of the part that I play in my family. And so it's okay sometimes to step away and just breathe. And I wasn't okay with that at first. And now I'm realizing that it's necessary because if I'm at my best self, then I can give my best self to my family and they deserve it. So, yeah, I understand what you're saying on that one, Vanita. Um,
Yeah, and of course, of always, we have to realize that you can't give to anyone else if you don't take care of yourself. Um, you don't take care of yourself, you're going to become stagnant. You're going to, deteriorate, both health wise and even your inner peace, you know, will dwindle. So it's very necessary self care, and that's going to be one of our topics. Hint, hint, hint.
Yeah, because
Spoiler:
somebody just asked, Toriana said, what are some good teas to drink at night, I guess he was asking.
chamomile is always good.
Yeah,
Chamomile
chamomile
is
and lavender, anything that has lavender, because I
yeah.
actually, my my younger daughters, when they get a bath, I actually try to put lavender in their bath. or chamomile. So they've been bathing in, a mixture of the two because the aroma kind of like settles them. And that's what I'm trying to get them to do. In a natural way, more natural way, and not, a lot of people, I give her NyQuil. Like, we're not doing that. So um, I give them natural things that will kind of calm their spirit down. And I even do it as well. Like, I have a vanilla, chamomile, and lavender tea that, you know what, two-edged sword. Like, because I earlier talked about the fact that I have insomnia and I got tea sitting in the cabinet and I don't come in here and make the tea. I just be up flicking channels knowing I don't watch TV. Um, but yeah, I have some vanilla, chamomile, and lavender mixture tea. And then my brother, my big bro, he was just showing me the other day on FaceTime. He's like the tea doctor. Like, he got all kind. Like, he's a health geek. Like, anything health and wellness. Like, the dude is just amazing. But he has all kinds of like herbal teas for different things. And he even makes some of his stuff from scratch. So yeah, it's amazing. And then just healthy, period, health and wellness or whatever. You can hit my girl up, go follow her. Her name is Monique Todd. I call her Moni Love. She's on here. Her and her king actually have a health and wellness or company rather, and they have a website where they actually offer different things. So it's about networking. Um, let me see. Toriano said he's not grown to the level of Christianity yet to be paying for nobody's gas or food. So because they're rude. So this is the thing, like with me, because I've done that. Like, I've done that before. And the thing is to not even get close enough to dissect their demeanor or attitude or their disposition. Because then it would be conditional. You know, you do things because of the love that you have within you. And that was something I actually used to do as a police officer. Like, before I got out the car, if I had to pull somebody over, before I got out the car, I determined whether they were going to get a ticket or not. Before I even walked up to the car, because people's disposition can change your demeanor and your attitude. And even though I was a police officer, I was still a human being. So, you got attitude now, I got an attitude. So I would determine before I got out of the car, whatever I'm stopping them for, are they going to get a ticket? Now, there were certain things that were just inevitable. Like, if they had a warrant, I had to bring them in. Like, it is what it is. But like, if I stopped them for running a stop sign or running a red light, um, when I get out of this car, is my goal to go up to them and ultimately end with a warning, verbal or written, or a ticket. And I would stick with that because I wanted to develop a characteristic in myself that I would do things regardless of people's disposition. Like, um, if I'm going to help you, I'm going to help you. And it took my focus away from your disposition and how you treated me because it wasn't conditional. Like, what I was trying to do, what I wanted to do from my spirit and from my heart was strictly from my spirit and from my heart and not based on whether whether you treated me a certain way or not. I said back, and I'll get back to the comments in a second. I said a couple of segments back, we were talking about something, and I was saying that, even when I'm upset with my husband about something, if I've been upset with him, one thing that I've always done is make sure my husband has food to eat, right? And so in my mind, I knew that no matter what, I will always make sure this man has a plate. And so when I did that, it did not cause me to become a conditional person because even if I was upset with him or angry when it was time to eat, he had food. If he was walking out the door to work before me, and I usually make sure he has lunch before he leaves first, then it was because that was what I would do and not based on whether we had a strong discussion that morning. You know what I'm saying? It was based on the fact that in my heart and in my spirit, that was what I wanted to do. So if you develop that within yourself, then it doesn't even matter their disposition. And then you begin to develop blockers and you don't even focus on their disposition. Because a lot of times, some people, they have other things going on, and different things could have sparked it. The same way their disposition would change yours, somebody could have changed their disposition. So try to block that stuff out, because I tell you, when you are a blessing to other people, God just rains down blessings on you. He does, and it doesn't have to be paying for their gas. It can be anything. It could be looking at walking to the gas station to pay your gas and say, what's going on, King? And just that one little phrase, that dude could have been so angry because of whatever happened in his household, and he don't even feel, or he feels like his masculinity has been tainted or attacked, and just reminded him from just saying what's up, King. Reminds him who he is and what his position is and where his focus should be. And you done changed the whole day for him. You know what I'm saying? So practice that. You can do it, King. You can do it. You can do it. Um, because it's sleepy time vanilla. Well, yeah, yeah, yeah. What's going on, Alicia? What's going on? She said, sleepy time vanilla. So I've tried that before. You ever had sleepy time vanilla tea? Like a herbal tea? Um,
Oh yeah.
let me see. Somebody said, I feel you. I've always done for others before myself. The quarantine is giving me the chance to actually do things for me that I never took time to do. Gotta continue that. Yes. And me too. So again, those just chiming in. The topic is, what is something that you have discovered about yourself in these last few weeks? And that meaning, in this quarantine time where some of us have been forced to work from home, and just be in a space where we're not in our norm. And is it something, one, that you like about yourself? And based on that, is it something you feel like could continue, or that you need to quit? Um, I don't know. Some people have developed drinking more. I know I've seen, like, there were people on here on my Facebook timeline that on a Thursday, bottles are going up because it's almost Friday. But now people, like, they drink it every day. Um, and so maybe that's you, and maybe that's something that you have to sit and revisit and just kind of look within yourself to see, one, is this healthy for me? And two, is this a pacifier for something much deeper that I actually need to attack and address? Some people eat more. There's a lot of people that, they're like, yo, I didn't gain the freshman 15 and we in the quarantine. I've been out of college, and it's just, sometimes we can have stressors that are silent, and you don't really know that you're stressed. And so you do things haphazardly to kind of curve that, and it's things that probably are not so good. Some people have started working out more. I have seen more. Like, I didn't even know there was that many healthy people out here. They was on my timeline, and I'm trying not to go back and remember what their timeline looked like before this time, but because it's a good thing. But I've seen so many runners, like people, like, they find ways to exercise, which I think is awesome. Because we're supposed to take care of this temple that God gave us. And so making sure that we're healthy is a must. And so that's a good thing. I know you see all kinds of stuff on your timeline, Mom. Of just,
Oh yeah. The other thing is taking advantage of technology. We are a progressive society, and instead of using the internet and any other social media in a negative way, using that, people are discovering, you were mentioning working out, people are using the workout videos and programs. And I know back in the day, Richard Simmons was a big thing, and there were a few Jack Laney. Um, there were a number of workout programs that people would follow. So they're realizing now that you don't really have to go to the gym. You
Right.
can just exercise at home. Invest your monies in those types of equipment that you can use in your very own home.
Right.
So that's been a big thing. I'll say a rediscovery, for people uh, to just use what you have.
I think another thing that hey Mama Kim, another thing that I had discovered about myself is, well, not really discovered, it just reiterated
Let me
the
just
point. But I love my family. Like, I love being around them. I really do. And even it's so crazy because given more time to be around them, if I have to leave the house without them for a period of time, I'm just like, "Yo, I gotta get back to my family." Like, I love being around them. And then I miss my mom. Like, things that I'm not sure, she'd have to answer that, if that I took for granted, just time. Because I remember, in the hustle and bustle of life, when everything was what we consider normal, she'd be like, when you get a chance, I just want to talk to you about stuff. And I'm like, okay. And I'm always doing this, and this. And being in this space in time now, I've had the opportunity to talk more to her and um, see different views, but I've had that time to kind of like fellowship with her more. And when I don't talk to her, like if hours go by and it's almost like late into the night, I'm like, oh, I wonder if she awake. It's like I didn't get to
Yeah,
talk to her before I went to bed. Like, like I miss my family. Like, I love my family. I genuinely love my family. Like, I do.
yeah.
I do.
The feeling is definitely mutual. It's a feeling of being incomplete whenever I go to bed without having talked with La. And her brother and I share this. Either he'll ask me, "Did you talk to La?" Or I'll ask him, "Did you talk? Did you text your sister today?" And it's a thing that's engraved in us. Um, and it started, of course, when in the womb, and so now it is a challenge to go for a period of time without seeing or talking with my children. And so that's the thing that I think I'm seeing it globally. I'm seeing it all over, that people are really tapping into what's really important, and that is your family. Your family is so important. And I think we're realizing that. I'm going to tell you something that really hits my heart on a daily is when I hear of these families where they've suffered a loss due to the virus. And the interesting thing is, um, these losses people, it's becoming more noticeable now because of the pandemic,
Yeah.
but there have been losses every day in life around us. And because we're a hustle bustle society, people are so busy running and running and running and doing various things that they're losing sight of what's really happening around them. People are being lost every day. You
Right.
know, Another thing that I think about is the homeless. Um,
Mm.
the homeless, and on a daily, every night, my prayer, part of my prayer has to do with God. Um, these people who are sleeping out on park benches or on the cement or just sleeping in the open. And particularly when I see inclement weather like here, like now, of course, it's not as cold as it was, as it has been. And I'm thinking of those people, you know. Um, I want us, my prayer is that we as a society, as a community, as a group of people, will will realize, as we talked yesterday, we are our brother's keeper.
Yeah.
We are our sister's keeper.
Oh, my
And
children and Johnny and I just had a Bible study discussion on um, being your brother's keeper and looking out for your neighbor. That's hot. That's hot.
we have to do that.
Yeah,
We really
it's
do.
necessary. It's
Really, really.
necessary. And like one of the things I've discovered. So we've been having Bible study with the children
There's a paper can.
on a daily basis. And like I literally like I yearn so yesterday, um so we all take a day or whatever. And yesterday our baby son, who since the beginning of time we were like he gonna be somebody preacher. Like I think it's like my dad came back into him. But he led the Bible discussion and I was just sitting there like God, like he really blessed me with some amazing children. Like they are amazing. Like just to hear them like talk and interact in the discussion, um, and not just their hunger for the knowledge of the word of God, but just their wisdom, like that they discover on their own. Like he literally put together a PowerPoint and like had a activity. So we already told him, I was like, the world needs to see this. Like somebody needs to see this because there are people that look like you that want to hear it on the level that they're most comfortable. There are other little young people, 12-year-olds that actually want to hear it on their level. And even though he's just like up here with it, it would be amazing for them to see. And then some adults too, because like let me tell you, the dude he's pretty dope. And I thank God that um, he allows me the necessary tools and my husband the necessary tools to cover them because they are some pretty amazing people. Um, and just his heart for and all of them, their heart for God, and even down to the baby. Like she's 19 months old and she's following behind them, and that's what it's about. Like I'm realizing just how strong that thing is when children just soak up things, their surroundings, like and how fast they soak it up. And so it's so necessary for us to surround them with positive things, with godly things, um, and be careful about the company that you allow them to keep. Because that is what shapes who they are and who they ultimately become, and can also have an effect on the path and the purpose that God has for them. Which is what we were talking about yesterday. So I'm not going to spoil it because we're going to give him a segment. It's going to be on a different day, not on Morning Tea with Mommy, where the Mark Anthony, um, can take you through his um his Bible discussion in his own way. So be on the lookout for that. But just, and then even down to the talents of the children, as you guys know, and if you don't, let me plug it. My oldest daughter released her EP, which is simply amazing. And it's not just music, um it's real talk, in the language of a 14-year-old that um crosses all boundaries of age. We've had many of our adult friends listen to the CD, and they're like her words are necessary, and they penetrate the soul and the spirit. And just when I do have to leave out the house, I'm listening and I'm like, God, you are pretty amazing. Like, what did I do to deserve just just to be mommy to these amazing little old souls of mine? Like they are, and it's a lot. It takes a lot, and to much is given, much is required. Like it is a lot to parent these little people that I have in the Castro house. It's a lot. Um, but when I sit back and reflect on it all, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. My struggle could be much different. It could be something totally different than the struggles I face. Because my oldest daughter is like, I don't know whether I want to go to the program that allows me to go teach, or, whether I want to go to the program that allow me to go to high school and then to get my associate's degree and then to get my college, my bachelor's degree in like 4 years. And I'm like, Wow, like like people, like there are young people that actually stress over that and not, oh my gosh, mommy, why doesn't he like me? Or, am I too fat? Am I too skinny? Like I don't have those things to deal with, and I thank God for it. And so because of that, like I cover the heck out of my kids, like, spiritually, because it's necessary. And I know if I see it, then, other forces see it too, and the people that work for them. So, I cover them with the word of God, so that they can be great. They can have an opportunity to be great, because there is something that God has for them to do. So, like,
You know,
yeah.
as an educator, I always practice what I call tough love.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and tough love is not always pleasing to the recipient because you can't see it right then and there. You have to discover it as you matriculate throughout the process
Mm-hmm.
of being educated. And I've always said to my grandchildren, my children, and then now my grandchildren, um, I'll be the bad guy in order to get that, in order for that good guy to emerge from you.
Yeah.
And I have to say, my
I'm the bad cop.
my
I'm the
grandson,
bad cop in my house. I am. Sorry.
my grandson and I have always like butt heads, um, and it comes, and I'm realizing as we get further along in our connecting, how much um, he is growing. He is truly growing. There was a time when you couldn't tell him anything. He knew it. He had all read all the books, had the T-shirts, and some.
And he
And
12,
now he
y'all.
still has read all the books, have the T-shirts, and
Bless
some.
his heart.
But at the same time, he and I used to tell him then, I see something in you
Hmm.
much deeper than is on the surface. And as I am on my way out, it's my goal to pull that something out of you. And I see it. I see it. I've seen it on a daily. Every time I'm in His presence, I see it. And I realize now that children are listening when you don't think they're listening. They hear what you're saying. Those seeds that are being planted, are there and they are growing. And that's what I see. And I'm so proud. It would take an entire show, entire series to really talk about my